Hi there, students. Slack. To slacken. To slacken off. So let's see. You see this piece of grass? Well, that is tight and that is slack. Okay, it's not pulling. Yeah? And that's the idea of this, the meaning of this word slack. Okay, as an adjective. And then to make a verb, as very commonly in English, you add en to the adjective, to slacken or to slacken off. So my belt was really tight, and after a really good lunch, I slackened it. I made it less tight. Okay, let's see. We use this verb to slacken or to slacken off to mean that something becomes less intense. For example, the rush hour traffic is at its peak at about 8:30 in the morning, and after that it begins to slacken off, to decrease, so the traffic slackens off. Or perhaps a restaurant is really busy between 1 and 2:15, and after 2:15 or 2:30, the business slackens off. Yeah, if you live in a place where holiday makers come, in August it's full of people and business is really intense. But by the end of September, things have slackened off. So I'm sure you're going to want to know, what's the difference between slacken and slacken off? I think you can probably use them interchangeably. However, I think the slacken off means decrease from a very high or intense level, whereas slacken itself means to make looser. So I slackened my belt. I could just about say I slackened off my belt, yeah? Or the rush hour traffic slackened, but I think slackened off is better. Okay, so to slacken off, to become less intense. Maybe you study really hard during the school term, but in the holidays your pace slackens. The walkers started out at a really fast pace, but later the pace slackened or slackened off. The people didn't walk so fast. Yeah, or maybe interest slackened. Notice all of these are intransitive. Something slackens, something slackens off. Yeah? Okay, I slackened my belt. You could use it like that, making looser. But normally just something decreases, something slackens or slackens off. Now, let's have a little look at this word slack as well. You remember my piece of grass that was tight or slack? Yeah? Well, we use slack often as well in an informal way to mean something that's not well done, that the person who did it was slack. They didn't concentrate on the details. They didn't try to make sure that all the small details were correct. Yeah? So you could write an essay for your teacher and he could say, this is slack work. It's not very good. Okay? You weren't concentrating. You weren't trying to get it right. Okay? You need to tighten up your performance because this performance was slack. Notice tight, tighten as a verb. And the word slack also reminds me of one of these phrases, tight slacks. Slacks are a word that mean trousers, although I don't think they're used very often. Yeah? But notice, tight slacks, these are the opposites. Okay? These are, one word says tight, it means tight trousers, but it sounds pretty odd, doesn't it? Yeah? What do we call that when one word or two words together, the first is the opposite of the second? I mean, like almost exactly, or terribly good. Yeah? Notice the words are opposite. See if you can remember the name that we use to describe that type of collocation. So I think that's probably enough. I've rattled off a million different meanings. I'm sure your efforts in English are not going to slacken off, and you're going to continue to study intensely. Anyway, enough. If you enjoyed the video and you didn't think it was slack, give it a rating. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Oh, I've forgotten a couple of things. So, to slacken. I think this is neutral English, yeah? And to slacken is also a regular verb. Slacken, slackened, slackened. Yes, and remember it's intransitive. It normally doesn't take a direct object if we're using this meaning of something decreases. Yeah, but if you mean make less tight, I slackened my belt, it would work. Okay? Anyway, enough. Let's try it again. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Slack, slacken, slacken off.